Hi, everyone. Say hi, Carmen.
Hi, everyone. Happy Friday.
Yay. Are you guys all ready? What did I drop? I dropped something and I don't know what it was. We are ready. Oh, it was all that ice. Okay, this is what we're going to try to paint today. And try, I do mean try. I have not painted this yet. I just thought it was really pretty. And I thought everyone might enjoy trying to paint it as well. So what colors do we need? We need red, yellow, blue, white, and black. So go ahead and get that poured. And as far as your brushes, I'm going to use a round brush. I'm going to use a small flat brush and a large flat brush. And there's some other little brushes that I might pull out. So just get as many as you can. And if you don't like what I'm using, just grab some other style of brush and just try. I mean, everybody kind of paints different. Everybody paints different, not kind of. So once you get that poured. All right, I see our viewers are getting on. I was just kind of giving everybody a little bit of time to get signed on. Okay, I don't look very good, so I'm gonna have it on Carmen. I spent all day in the hospital and all night, and I did not do anything with myself today. So I'm in no hurry to let you see me. Okay, well, while we're waiting, let's go ahead, and you guys are getting that poured. Get your water, and make sure it's a different glass than what you're drinking out of, whether it be a soda pop, tea, beer, lemonade, Kool-Aid, whatever you have, just make sure you have a different cup so you're not drinking out of it. Okay, looks like we got some people. Let's get into our white. So Carmen, get into your white. And I'm going to use this little thing here so that I can have you get a little bit closer to the canvas of mine. We're trying to work on getting this set up, but we have troubles. Okay, so get into some white. So I'm going to get some white, just like that. And let's get a little bit of red and a little bit of blue. And then let's mix those three together. And what we want to come up with is a light color that is purple or red or blue, depending on what color you want your sky to be. So if you want it to be more red, you can. If you want it to be more of a blue or more of a purple, it's up to you on that. Or maybe you want it more white. Just kind of go with the color that you want. It's you don't have to be specific on color. Maybe you know somewhere you're going to want to hang it, or maybe you have a favorite color you want to use. So their background is kind of a grayish white, but that's not what I wanted. But if you want to do it, you can go for that. But let's go ahead right now and let's get this corner over here started to be painting. Can you see me, Carmen, on the screen? Okay. And let's just do some back and forth strokes. Any stroke will work, whatever one works for you. But just make sure you get your canvas covered. Right, Carmen?
Yeah.
So how's everybody doing with this lockdown? I bet we're all sort of getting a little bit cabin fever or lonely, or maybe we are getting a little bit tired of our spouse or our children, or but whatever it is, we can deal with it. We love them. We love our family. We might want to kill them, but we still love them.
I was going to say, not all of them. Most of them sometimes.
Most of them sometimes. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get into some white, and I'm going to get quite a bit of white. But Aaliyah, I know you don't have a lot of white, so maybe go ahead and make this part darker and then have this be your lighter if you want to. I know you're running out of white. But for everyone else, if you take some of this white and we're just layering it and then pulling it further out this way. And it's just going to kind of make your canvas, make sure that that's covered. Nikki, you're not going outside. Our kitty cat wants outside to catch the little rodents that we like. Not the mice. He gets to go out at night and get those guys for the snakes, but he wants to go out and get our little chipmunks. Okay, so see how that just kind of gave it an extra little oomph, and it just made sure, it makes me know that your canvas is covered good too. Hey, you two. Do you hear them fighting? Herman, can you hear the cats fighting?
Yeah, I can.
They're not getting along tonight. They're for window space downstairs. Okay, just clean off your brush. Get your brush kind of cleaned off. So I'm just hitting mine pretty hard, just getting as much paint off of my brush as I can. Right. So down here, we want it to be a little bit darker so that we can show our lighter flowers. So let's go and get into our blue. And just go in the same pile that you had. Get into the blue, get into some of the red, and let's mix that up without white. Now this is your color, so you decide what color you want to be in the, this is like a more of an abstract painting, so your colors don't have to be right. You don't have to have, my hand's going to sleep. You don't have to go by what nature has. You can go by what you want, like to hang in your bathroom. Maybe this is for your bathroom. I took one off and I still have this one on from the hospital. Maybe I'm wanting sympathy, you guys. That's not the case, I promise you. I just am lazy and I didn't take a shower. Okay, so down here, let's go ahead and go back, just cover this up. And then when you get to the bottom, let's cover that up. And then as you start to work your way up, make the brush go up and down like this. That way your brush strokes are shown doing this instead of just side to side. And acrylic, it dries so fast, doesn't it? I don't paint with acrylics very often except for this. So I had to go online myself and learn how to paint with acrylics. I didn't even know how like a couple of years ago, till paint parties. I started paint parties. And it's okay, like to dry brush. You know, if you do this, scrumbling, take your brush and go, this is scrumbling, and it gives it a fluffy, cottony look. And it also saves on the paint, but more importantly, it's given us the look that I kind of want. And if you put water on your brush, you'll lose this effect. So probably not use water this time. And see, I'm going back into the bottom area where I was and getting some of that paint and bringing it up. Grab some of that paint and bring it up. Now, we all know if we get behind you, just pause me. flip your brush over and try to find paint too. You know, sometimes you run out and you gotta flip that. And I'm gonna have it be just about to there. Okay. Now, let's go ahead, and I've got some of it not covered, and that's okay. Let's get into the same color we just made, and this time, let's add a lot of yellow to it. Oh. And what you're gonna do is come up with an ugly green, a dark uglier green, if you're using the same color blue and yellow we are. And make sure you mix that really good. And that's kind of the color I got, Carmen. All right, now I want you to take your brush and kind of start at the bottom here with that green. And I want you to just drag it so you come up with something like this. Okay? Just in certain areas. Maybe a little bit over here, just to kind of make it tie in together. And then get your brush with some more of that paint. And this time I want you to sit it down really lightly, about right here. Lightly, lightly, and then come down and then push harder. And then maybe start clear up here, lightly, and then come down and push a little harder. You can go over that a couple times, and if you want it even thinner, just go put your brush like this and just flip it up. Flip it up. You get as much of that on there as you want. Okay? How you doing? Probably super good. Now, let's take some white and mix it to that. And what you're going to come up with is like a green that's really not that pretty. It doesn't have any yellow tones in it too much, or mine doesn't. If you want yours to have more yellow, you can add yellow, but I want it to be this kind of green that is would look good on a wall. All right. Now, I want you to go ahead and take your brush and just tap it like this. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Like this, Carmi. And come over here on this side and tap, 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 tap. Can you tell I'm used to having the kids' classes? And then down in here, do the same thing, just randomly in here. We're make-believing there's things going on, is all we're doing. Things are going on in there. And maybe bring some of it out there. And catch up with me. I'll let you catch up. I'll clean off my brush. When you're to this point, clean off yours. Feel free to chat and say something, like if you need me to slow down or go faster, or just to stop talking as much. But be nice. You see how I got that? Mm-hmm. All right. Everybody kind of caught up? Next, we're going to go ahead and do some of our butterflies, and then we'll start with our flowers, okay? So, this is where you're going to want to use that littler flat brush. or straight brush, long brush. I can't remember right now. Too tired. Okay, we're going to start some of our little ladybugs, and then we'll go back. Our butterflies. Okay, so your butterflies don't have to be the same color as mine. Some of you might love blue butterflies. Some of you might like purple butterflies. So I'm going to make mine kind of bluish purple because I think that that's the majority of what you'll all like. So I'm going to get into some of my red, blue, add some white, get some red, and then I'm going to mix the white in the corner like this and add a little red, add a little blue until I come up with the color I want. And I want you to take your time to come up with the color you want. But what I do want is I want it to be kind of a darker color, right? This time, just a little bit more brighter color. Not super, super bright. How you doing, Carmi?
I'm doing good.
You having fun?
I am.
All right. Are you guys having fun? I want you to all have fun. Because seriously, that is what this is all about, painting. It's all about fun right now. If you get into serious painting, you probably don't want to do it with a drink and me having fun. Because I have to be in a whole different state of mind when I'm doing my serious painting. All right, how are we going to do this? Well, first of all, we're going to do the this outside or inside wing, I guess it would be for you, inside wing first. And it's really super easy the way that I do them. About right here. I'm going to go ahead and take my brush and go down once, down again, and then just start making this start to get a little bit smaller in through here, like that, okay? Then I'm going to take some lighter white, kind of mix it on my palette, I guess we can call my tinfoil. Kind of mix it and get some of that paint out of your brush so it's a little bit lighter. And then on these ones that are more on the inside area, just go ahead and lighten some of those up like that. Okay. Now the purple is not showing up very well on mine for you. So I'm going to switch mine out to blue, and it's going to do it just as easy as grabbing some blue and mixing it, because I can see that you can't see it, but I want you to make your butterfly any color you want. But I am going to change mine more to a blue so you can see it. So we did the darker one, and then I'll just add a little more lighter on the inside. Now, if you want pink butterflies or something, that would be white and red. What a good choice of color. You can't really see it. I'm wondering if anyone can see that. Hope you guys can see that. I hope so. Maybe I'll make them a little bigger. Can you see that? Okay. I'll let you get there. Yeah, Carmen's using just straight blue, and that's what I'm going to do so you can see mine. So what I do here is I go boom like this on the outside one, and then just kind of make it a little bit smaller and go down like that. Can you see that color better, you guys? Kind of like that, okay? Then you're gonna go ahead on this side and you're gonna just make it a V, or however wide you want your butterfly to be, its wings to be spread, but I'm just gonna take it and go down like this. Whoop. And then whoop, 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 whoop. Just like that, butterfly. Butterflies are really, really easy if you do them this way. And I'm going to stay in my blue again. If you guys want to go to red, please do. But I want you to be able to see mine. This second butterfly, I want it to be bigger and positioned just a little bit differently. So I'm going to go ahead and have it come forward more. I'm going to have it go like this versus up, you know, more. That one was more up and down, not up and down, but more up and down. So we got that main one right here. Then you're going to have a littler, shorter one in the front, just barely above that. You know, just right there, just barely. It's a little bit shorter. And then you can, if you want to, you can make even a teeny bit shorter as well. And then on the inside here, right there, you're going to go ahead and start going shorter, then shorter, and then shorter, just like that, okay? And you can try to make it look like you can see those strokes in there, those little wings more, by just taking your brush and moving it, and see how you can see more of your butterfly. See how that you can just change it, boom, 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 or, but that's not the direction we want. We want it to go this way. But do you see how I was showing you what I wanted? Now with these next ones, we want more dynamic. So whatever color you're using, add a tad bit of black to that color. So I'm using blue so you can see it. So I'm going to add just a tiny bit of black to that. And then I'm going to take the wing and it's going to go quite a bit higher. So remember that you're going to have your little ladybug down in here, his body. So you don't really have to worry too much about everything down below. But I'm going to start from where I want it to go, about right here. And then I'm going to go up, 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 up. He's big. And then you can make those ones longer if that one's too big. And then go ahead and start your wings coming down. Whoop. And he's kind of spreading them out just because this is the style that this artist had. And you can start from the body if you want, and then have it come down like this. Pretty fun, I think. And then you can just fix your tops like that. See, I'm just doing this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Now, this is a little short, so I'm going to go on, not up in this front area. I'm going to go more towards the center, right about there. And I'm going to make it just a little bit taller by making a little bit of a squishy. And then I'm going to do one more little squishy. And that's good. But, you know, if you're really into butterflies and you want it to look more like a butterfly, you can work on these a little more. How'd you do? I hope good. I hope you're having fun. All right. Carmen, how you doing? We'll let Carmen catch up. He's kind of like hooey.
Like,
why don't you bring your easel over here, and then they can kind of see you paint too if you want.
I'm just really impressionistic right now.
Well, it's okay to be impressionistic. This is pretty fun. And look, we're pretty close to it. Now, detail work. I know some of you are really into the detail. And if you are, get your little brown brush. And what you're going to do is take those independent wings, the little sections of them, and just work them out how you want them to be. So you could, you know, if you want yours to be a designated color, and you can do this later, you guys. You don't have to do this right now. I'm just going to show you. Like if you wanted it to be more pink, then you'd grab a little bit of white and a little bit of red and just mix it together to the color you think you want your butterfly to be. And so the good thing about acrylic is you can now put your hand down on this, where you normally can't do that. Hi, Hattie, Hattie, Hattie. And then where you want it pink. So I would say like right about here on mine, I'm just going to lightly brush in a little bit of pink there, maybe a little here and there. And wipe off your brush with your paper towel and just go back in and do some more. Maybe you want white, so then you would just get some white on your brush. And maybe you want this more widened through here. Then you just go ahead with that round brush and just brush in some of that white. And you can go back over, you know, and just do it more. But what you want to do is, I think a lot of people think that you just paint and then leave it. And that's fine. But if you take it and once you sit it down and then you just kind of like comb it or paint it or blend it, that is kind of how I paint with the oils. And that's how I think painting is, not just putting it down and leaving it there. Because then it just, you know, I just set paint on the canvas. So like right up here, if we wanted it to be that purple that I was working with earlier, I get that purple on my brush, and I would just go ahead and put some of that in there and then just lightly just blend it and put it where you want it to be. And do you see how that is? So that's how you would paint. So when you're doing this class with us, go ahead and get it down, and then you can come back and fill in your butterflies, fill in your flowers, do all that kind of stuff that you want to with the detail work, okay? So like if you decided you wanted to try your hand at making those little purple flowers, you know, like lilacs, or I don't think lilacs grow on these kind of plants, but if you wanted something in there, let's show you. Let's get some red and white and mix it together and get a pink. And this is just an example, but maybe you want yours to be a yellow flower, then you just don't even do this, or make yellow. But you could just come in here, and if you were going to put it in a bathroom that had, you know, like this color in there, you could just go ahead and add some little dots in there to make believe like this is, you know, some kind of flower that they have. Maybe you only have a couple here. Do you know what I mean? It just, whatever you want to do with yours. I'm going to go ahead and cover that up and like hit it through a little bit more after you do that. If you want it to be more of a plant that isn't quite, it's, you know, more of those ones that are going to fly through the air. So they're more light and fluffy like this. It's just crazy. And then you can go over here and add some through here. Maybe this one's over here. You can't even really see it and it comes off the edge. Maybe some down through here. But you get the idea. It's whatever color you want. Let's put some through here, down through there, up through here, like that. So I'll give you a chance to do it just in case somebody's liking that and that's what you're doing. So that was just white and red, and I put it through there. And I think there's going to be people that like that. If you want a rose, you guys like roses? You could make believe that there's a rose right here. And to do a rose, I would say just go start a center and just kind of come out like in squares like that. Did you see it? Let me do it again. I'm going to do it with a darker color of red so you can see it. But the way I do roses sometimes is I'll just go ahead and like make a little center off to the side and then just kind of make these little round circles. Instead of going like that, I go like this. Instead of going whoop like that, I go with this and go and end it off. And that does look like an abstract rose. To me, it does. And then you could just put some leaves on there, grab some of that green that we made earlier if you have it still. And then you could just go ahead and like put a little bit of leaves, like dab things there so it looks like leaves. And then a stem coming down and there's your rose. Crazy, huh? Pretty fun. I'm letting you guys kind of catch up. Another way to do a rose would be to, again, get into your pink. It on your round brush. And set it down. And then just kind of wiggle it out a little bit thicker. Wiggle, 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 make it a little thicker. Wiggle, 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 make it a little thicker. So it's like that. Then clean off your brush. Dip into a different solider color that you're using. And then just do that same little round thing, but just do it at the top like that. Whoop, whoop. And then you could even go at the bottom and do something like that. I know it doesn't look like a great rose, but it does look like a rose in a weird sort of rosy way. And then you'd get your green again, get back into your green, because every flower has little leaves on them like that. So I just go ahead and get a little bit of that green around there. And then make my little stem, if you can see it. And I'm going to dip my brush in black so you can see that. So, and you can do it too. I just dipped it in a little bit of black, and then I'll just drag that down. Drag that down, and you can kind of see it just a little bit, but I didn't make it like obvious. And add a little black to those leaves. And I didn't go all the way down. Okay. Now, I know you're going to probably go back and do your butterflies even better after I'm done here with you. I'm going to decorate mine a little bit better before we go, just so you can see mine. And I'm, again, making mine more blue than purple, but I don't know what color yours is. But I'm going to add a little bit color to my butterfly up here now too. Maybe up through this wing area. I'm just going to take my round brush and maybe add a little bit lighter color through there so you can see it a little bit better. Maybe up through here on this one too. You know, it's your painting, and you can go back and do it different as many ways as you want. And you see how that pink that we used earlier, white, you can't really see it. You could go in and add a little more color to it like this. And go up here. And just keep adding to it till you find what you want. These things take a while, I think, you know, until you get it just how you want it. I'm going to dip my round brush in my black. And all I did is I'm not rinsing my brush out. I'm just wiping it on my paper towel, just because I don't want my brush to be really super wet. So here's our butterfly body. I'm going to go ahead and make him have this teeny tiny little head about right there. And then drag down a little bit of a line right there that kind of comes down in this little tiny viney, like that. Same with the other one. Remember, he's not, this one is at a different position. So this one, he's kind of coming down. Maybe he's going to go land on one of those. So his head's about right here. And then his body's a little bit more flat. Maybe you can see his little belly. And it's so hard, you guys, to get these little legs and antennas and stuff really small. So what I suggest you could do is get a toothpick and drag it down into your wet black paint, and then you would get those little legs. But I'm going to go ahead and try to make little legs that you can kind of see on mine. Maybe a little antenna, like that. And here's some little legs. And like I said, it's really hard to make them small with my brush I'm using. Cute, huh? No matter what. All right. Now, while we've got black on our brush, let's go ahead and make some black foliage, because this painting is really abstract and there are some really dark colors to it. So take your brush and start at the bottom here in the corner with your round brush, set it down, push hard, and then I want you to start lifting up. Lift, 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 take off. Get it reloaded with black. Set it back down really close to where you were before. Press down, then lift, 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 lift. And let's go ahead and see how sometimes it goes in the wrong direction when you're not looking. Just set it back down where you were. Do it again. And then find a different lift off. You know, if you don't like how it lifted off last time, there's no reason that you can't go back and do a different lift off. So on this first one, I don't like my lift off because I was looking in the computer. And lift off that way. I don't know if I like that one either, but that's okay. You can make a flower on there if you don't like it, which I'm going to. So when I don't like something and I see it like this, often I'll be like, okay, I have to do something now to fix it. But since I'm doing this, I'm going to tell you, I'll put a big old daisy right over there. So let's go ahead and show you another way to do it. So you can also put your brush down lightly, and then just lightly touch your canvas and then pull around, pull around, pull around, and then come down. And then it'll just make you a thicker flower or a thicker foliage, whatever it's trying to be for abstract art. And again, you can start down at the bottom and start light, 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 come back up and lift off. Let's do some over here. Set it down and lift off. And just do it as many times as you want. Maybe I want to just go over here and go whoop, like that. Maybe to have one clear up at the top and just drop it down. On this side, I'm going to go ahead and just sink my brush down and just kind of go up, 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 and then lift off really light and just leave that. I'm not sure what's there. It's going to have a flower. Set it down again and just kind of lift off again and just fill in that space with some of those little tiny blobs of black that they've got going on in this picture. Because you're just going to go ahead and fill that in. Maybe through here, just go ahead and dab some black in there. Maybe a little bit of black through there. We're just filling up space. Okay. I'm letting you catch up. If you like those butterflies that have more of the black tip, you could go in, and I'm not saying you need to do this, but if you do like them, then you just go ahead and with any brush that you think you can use, just gently go ahead and get the tips of those, you know, black, because there's a lot of those butterflies that have those really black tips on the tops of them. And I know that's a popular butterfly for people. So you could do that with your butterfly too. You could even do that with blue, because I just dipped mine in blue. Like that. There's just so much you can do with this painting. Herman, you're doing really good. Are you falling behind? Do I need to slow down?
A little bit. I've only got one butterfly, but
Do you want to hurry and get you another butterfly?
no, I'm good for butterflies right now.
Okay, and so remember, you guys, this is just going really kind of fast because I know it's live, and you can pause me and you can play it back again. It's just, if it gets too long, they'll shut me down. So now I am going to go ahead and clean out my with the point on it that I'm using. I washed it, I rinsed it, I dried it. And now I am going to start making some pink flowers again. But this time I'm going to have them be more of a brighter pink, okay? So I'm going to get into my red and my white, and I've got plenty of red over there. So I'm going to blop some white over there. This is something that during my art classes, our art parties, paint parties, we don't do it this way. But I'm at home, and we're at home, so I get to be naughty. So I went to sleep. And I'm just mixing it. And I have a dog hair. Ooh, I have a Delana hair in my paint. Get rid of that. Sorry, everybody. Gross. Get a little more red. I want this to be really a more vibrant color. And you want it to be vibrant too, because then you can see it. Now, Ivy, just know, don't get upset. I know you don't like falling behind. My niece paints so good. Okay, so let's find a flower. Let's do it about right here. So to do that, just figure out where your center is just by making a circle what we want the center to be. And then we're going to have the other one right about here. So just go ahead and make a little round circle there too. Get that established wherever you want it, Carmi. I put one there and one right here. And you can fill it in if you want to. We're going to change the color of that later, so it doesn't really, right there and there, honey. I'm going to dip into my pinkish reddish color I made, and I'm going to decide where I want my petals to be. So I'm going to take my round brush and I'm going to sit it about, here's where I want it to end up. I want it to be kind of big, so I'm going to start about right here. And I'm going to push down and then just kind of smush it and drew it, figure out where I want. I'm just moving the paint around till I get it as wide as I want it to be. And then I'm going to go ahead and just finish it off like that. Just for our first one so you can see it. Then the rest of them, if your brush is smaller, normally I'd go like something like this and just come down. Maybe have this one come around like that. We all know how we want these to be. I'm not really a fan of this one. I don't know why I made it that way. I'm going to make it thicker. I'm in a weirder mood today. I'm tired. But we all know how these petals look. But the trick of it, once you get that done, if you want to lighten it up, is to now just paint lightly, maybe add a little more white into that pink color that you made. And then you just start to like lighten it up in places like where you think the sun's going to be. Now, I know there's a lot of artists out there that can do a really good job on that. And I'm not trying to make them look too nice today, because this is an abstract piece of art. But if you want them to be really super nice, we can sure do that too. You can sure do that, okay? Went over my little black thing that we made. And just keep brushing it out till I come up with a flower I like. Maybe you want yours thinner. I know that most of you have that picture in front of you, so I know that you're probably not even following mine. If you take a little bit of blue, just a tiny bit, you can kind of, a little bit of blue, and you can start to like make some shadows in your flower and just blend them. Maybe you want a couple there. All right. We'll let that dry a minute and then we'll start to actually put the white daisy in there. Those are just your little shadow colors. But while we're waiting for that, we can make our little centers. You could take your black, just straight black, and just kind of put in half of that right there just so that you'll be able to see just around there, Carmen. They just have it really abstract in this picture. So these are all just your shadow colors that we're doing right now. And now your center, go ahead and get in your white and your yellow. Your white and your yellow, and mix a yellow for the center of your flower. Whatever color yellow you like. Just make sure it's mixed pretty good. And try not to touch your black just yet. Try to go ahead and just go around it a little bit right now. Just tap it in around there. And then you can go back and blend it a little bit better later. I noticed that in this picture, they're not really blending. They're definitely just trying to keep it more fun. And while we're waiting for this to kind of settle for a minute, they've got white flowers that are kind of whitish green. So you can go ahead and get into some more of your white and get into some of that green that you had made earlier, just a little bit of it, and have it just be a really light, almost not even seen green. Just add a little color. So Carmen, what this is just to add some more texture to it. So they're just kind of dabbing in some of that green in through here in places. They're just, what we're trying to do right now is just make it have a lot of stuff going on. So take that round brush of yours and tap in some excitement. Just go over some of your things and make little dots, little things that make you believe that there's a lot going on in your picture. Push hard, push light. Find what you like. And that's with greenish white, okay? We don't want it to be just plain old white. Then up down here where those black things are that don't make much sense, make sure you cover up some of those at the top, you know, so that you don't really see them like that. That way they're just kind of making a contrast in there. They're just really not much of, I don't know what they're trying to be. They're probably trying to be limbs of something. We like doing other people's pictures. It's kind of fun. But you don't have to have a look just like theirs, but you often wonder what they were thinking and what something was supposed to be, and it makes it super fun because you wouldn't have recognized some of the thing that's in there if you weren't trying to paint the picture. So it kind of makes it fun. But do you see how it's all coming together, you guys? How simple it is. I mean, we're not doing anything that looks really cool, but in the end, it will look really good, I think. Some of that light green, let's go ahead and make some of these long grasses through here, these short grasses, just by taking our brush and lightly lifting up on it and just adding some more stuff to it. See how then you don't even notice those black ones as much now because you're kind of covering them up. And that's why we're going fast, so that you don't take a lot of time trying to make something that you might realize you really didn't need to work hard on it. So see this yellow and the black? Go ahead now and just kind of like try to tap it in and make it blend a little bit where they meet, just through there. See how cool that was and how easy that worked? And then if you ended up wanting it a little bit brighter, just go back to your yellow that you made, that yellow white, and tap in brightness in there. But you definitely wanted to blend it. Did you see that, Carmen, how I did that? I blended the black and then just tapped in some more yellow for it. Now let's go ahead and get these daisies looking like daisies. And I'm going to use some straight white on this one just because, well, I really shouldn't. Maybe add a little bit, I think some green, a little bit of that light green that we had with white that we used earlier, and then just add some white so it's not a bright white. I normally would do this in blue, but since I don't know what color your flowers are and what you ended up with, sometimes it's just safer to use a little bit of a light green. And I'm just going to go on and put a little bit of that white down softly in places. And go over it in some areas. You could even just do something as easy as this if you guys are, if you're a smaller child, a smaller person, and you're just trying to get it done, you can just sit it down and just drag it, and that will come up with a pretty good flower for this picture. It actually kind of looks like they might have done that. And then the secondary thing I would do with it, if you really want it to even be wider, is just set down your brush that you have, that round brush, and just sit it down and then pull it down just a little bit like this. Go ahead and sit it down, pull, sit it down, Carmen, pull, sit it down, pull, get some more paint on it, sit it down, pull, down, pull, sit it down, pull, sit it down, pull, sit it down, pull. Then you could even, get some of those to connect just by doing something like this. And you can watch Carmen. He's kind of far away. He's leaving us. He should have come closer. Let me come look at Carney's. So Carmen is doing his a whole different color, and it's really kind of cute. It's really quite nice. Too bad you're not closer so we can see you. You're getting your elbow in your paint, sweetheart. Move that over. Maybe move your... I bet everyone wants to see that a little bit more. Are you having fun, Hattie? Ivy, Alan? Look at you drying out your brushes. Yep. Okay. We're almost done, you guys, and then I get to leave you and you can do yours on your own. But let's add some of those white flowers that are in there. So go ahead and grab that round brush again. And again, that's the one with the point on it, like this. Straight white because the paint is absorbing and there's so much in the background with this. I'm just going to take my brush and sit it down, go whoop, 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 and make kind of thick ones this time. Just some big blobby. Whoop, 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 whoop. Everything in threes, right, guys? Whoop, 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 whoop. I've been doing too many of those kid videos, you guys. And then you could make some little tiny dabbles over here. Not sure what those are. I'll let you know someday. Add some more white in there. You could go ahead and take your brush and just lightly slide it. Get some more of that white in there. Maybe some back through here, here, up there. I don't know what those are, but they're really kind of add a little bit of something to your painting. Go up through here, add a little bit of white, some more white up there. Anything to tie your painting down and come up with something that you like. I'm going to put a little more white up through here. And maybe you just really like white. You can go ahead and add a lot more of that if you're going to put it somewhere where you want your room to be more brighter. This little red rose right here, maybe I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of white through to it. Maybe this one a little bit more white. I'm just coming up with stuff just to help you out. Whatever you want will work and will look good. You can add more of foliage at this point if you wanted, which I would use blue and yellow and make a green. And right now, you don't have to be doing what I'm doing. Just listen to me while you're painting and look up at me once in a while. And if you like what I got, look at it. If you don't, well, just ignore me. I'm fine with that too. But like with some of that green, maybe I want to go ahead and add a little bit of deeper green into places just to add a little more color. So it's really no rhyme or reason. I'm just adding some in there. See, I'm just finding some spots in there and add some just to give it a little more color. Maybe in between your dots over here, just add a little more color of that green in there. If you guys like more of it, want it more brighter than what the picture is, just add some more green in there. Whoops, and if you get into some black, well, like I did, just go ahead and smooth it out and do something else with it or leave it if you like it. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of more green, kind of something in there, maybe some through there. And then some pink, some more darker interest in there. Did you see how I did that, you guys? See how fun these are? You don't have to be particular at all. You don't even have to have it even look remotely like mine or the pictures. I'm just adding more color to where I had the color, like I had pink on there earlier. Now I'm just adding maybe a little more. You could add some purple in there instead of pink. You can give these little flowers some centers. Some of those, like I'm going to add a little black in there. Maybe I'm in an Aaliyah. I know you like black. You could even add black to that, sweetie. You can add some little black dots in there. Maybe because I have a bathroom that I'm trying to decorate. I want some black. More black in my painting. How's yours coming along, sweetie?
It's coming together.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? It's actually turning out really cute. It's a super easy, super fun painting. Super fun. I hope everyone's having fun. And I think, Carmi, that we can almost sign out and let them finish. And I hope everyone will post their picture. Since it's a paint night, right. I'm going to go ahead and put 2020 on mine.
Cheers.
2020, though. Got to get that in there, sweetie. I'm going to put it down here. 20. Oh. Wow, you guys, I'm tired. 2020. Looks like I would have done this when I was in kindergarten with the name. So we'll get over here. Look at Carmi's. Carmen's still working on his, and he probably will still work on it after we're done and just have fun with painting because I went super fast so we could get this all done. But look how much different they are. how fun they are, you guys. So I hope everyone's having fun and finish out your painting, finish out your night. And we might do this next Friday if everybody likes it. We'll just see how it turns out. Guys, I'm sorry. I just don't look very good. Have a good night.
Right.
Be sure to
Cheers.
clean up. Bye. Cheers. Bye.